Kyle's hand clamped around Darnell Brooks' hoodie, yanking him forward so hard his sneakers scraped the sidewalk. "You should go back to where you belong, mopping floors," Kyle snarled, his breath hot and sharp. People on the busy corner stopped mid-step. A phone camera tilted toward them. Brent, another officer, smirked from behind Kyle's shoulder. Darnell's eyes locked on Kyle's, a stillness in them that didn't match the rough shove. His right hand rose, not in defense, but to adjust the strap of the worn backpack on his shoulder. "Let go," he said, each word clipped like a command. Kyle's knuckles whitened, holding tighter. "Or what? You'll scrub me to death." The crowd chuckled uneasily. A woman in a red coat muttered, "Isn't that the guy who cleans the rec center?" No one noticed the small, round pin on Darnell's backpack, the kind given only to those who taught close combat at the highest level. Yet. The morning had started like any other for Darnell: coffee from the corner cart, a short walk to the rec center where he worked nights as a janitor. But today, a commotion outside the hardware store had drawn him in. Two officers questioning a teen over a scuffed bike. Darnell had stepped closer, only to have Kyle swing around and bark, "Back off, or you'll be next." The remark wasn't just a warning, it dripped with the assumption that a black man standing nearby had no right to watch. He'd almost walked away. Almost. But when Kyle decided to grab him by the hoodie, that changed everything. "You know your place?" Kyle jeered. "Yeah," Darnell said slowly, "do you?" The corner seemed to tighten, air pressing in. Phones lifted higher. Brent leaned in, "Come on, Kyle, show him what happens when you mess with us." A ripple of anticipation moved through the crowd. Nobody there knew the only reason Darnell's stance hadn't shifted yet was because he was calculating, measuring not just the man in front of him, but the consequences that could follow. Kyle shoved him back against the brick wall, one forearm pressed across Darnell's chest. "Last chance to walk away," he growled. The crowd leaned in, smelling the confrontation. Darnell's gaze didn't flinch. His left hand slid up, catching Kyle's wrist, not with force, but precision. In a single pivot, Kyle's arm was twisted, his balance broken, and his back hit the wall instead. Gasps rippled through the onlookers. Brent stepped forward, but Darnell's stance shifted, feet set, shoulders loose, eyes locked. "You don't want to do that," Darnell said evenly. Kyle struggled, confusion flashing behind his anger. "What the hell are you?" But before he could finish, Darnell released him and stepped back, hands open, showing he wasn't looking for a fight. The crowd's phones caught every frame. Somewhere in the shifting bodies, a voice murmured, "That's not just some janitor." Brent moved to close the distance, but a commanding voice cut through the noise. "Officers, step back." The crowd parted as a tall man in a crisp lieutenant's uniform strode in, Miller, the precinct's respected training officer. His eyes swept over the scene, lingering on Darnell before shifting to Kyle. "Release him. Now." Kyle hesitated, jaw tightening, but Miller's tone sharpened. "That's an order." Kyle stepped back, fists clenching at his sides. Miller turned to Darnell, a faint recognition crossing his face. "Brooks? As in Staff Sergeant Brooks? You trained half this department in close combat." A stunned hush fell. Brent's smirk dissolved. Several bystanders gasped, a woman whispered, "No way." The weight of the truth hit Kyle like a blow. This wasn't a janitor to shove around. It was the man who taught him how to survive a fight. And he'd just humiliated himself in front of the whole block. Miller kept his gaze on Kyle. "You just put your hands on one of the best instructors this department ever had," he said, voice low but carrying. Kyle opened his mouth, but Miller's raised hand stopped him cold. "Save it. You're on leave until further notice." The crowd erupted in murmurs, phones capturing every second. Darnell adjusted his backpack strap, the small pin catching a glint of sunlight. "I'm not here for trouble," he said, "but respect isn't optional." Miller gave a short nod. Understood. Darnell turned and walked down the block, the noise behind him fading into the city hum. Later, the video would spread online, sparking debates about power and prejudice. But on that corner, the lasting image was of a man walking away, not in defeat, but leaving a mark no shove could erase. Some people mistake someone's uniform, job, or silence as a sign of weakness, forgetting that true strength often lives where you least expect it. Darnell's story is a reminder that respect is not granted by position, it's earned by character and history. If this moment made you think twice about judging others, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more stories that challenge the way we see each other.